like you lost another one.
Have you been paying attention?
That is
Have
a
y'all
damn
been
good
paying
question.
attention?
That is a damn good question. You know what? I don't think anybody has been paying attention.
I don't think so either. But
It went over a lot of people's heads. They did not know what was going on until we finally let everybody know. So
here we are.
Yep.
After a lot of speculation, a lot of talk, you put these two bad people together, a Yankee and an Astro, walked into a bar, and guess what? You now have the Wrestling Revival Podcast. Good evening, everybody, wherever you're at, whether you're here on the East Coast with me as the Yankee, or you're over there in the H-Town with Mr. Cyber Yeti. Welcome to the show. Oh, man.
After that 12-5 win, what?
We're not going to start with that right now. We're going to stay on topic today. On topic. But yeah, I'm telling y'all, we got a lot to discuss. A lot. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly, all in one episode here, the premiere episode of the Wrestling Revival Podcast. Of course, I am DJ Notorious 2K7. That is Mr. Cyber Yeti over there to the other side. And yeah, we're going to talk about some WWE. We're going to talk about how an old man on AARP gained a title in the past week. And then we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Trust. But before we get to starting of the show, should we drop a bomb on them already? Should we do that?
Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and say something about that. Are we talking about what I think we're talking about, sir?
I mean, we could talk because we do that sponsor thing too, So,
yes.
Since we have that sponsor thing, and the first one, if you guys haven't noticed, was Instagram. But if you didn't pay attention to that intro, there's somebody else involved now. So we would like to say officially, thank you to our sponsor, Ulti Energy. That is right, ultisubs.com. You can purchase your energy products with them, www.ultisupps.com. And of course, if you go there, 10% off discount by using the code Revival Army. Just that simple. Not even 5 minutes in, we got sponsorship. That's how it works around here.
And it's way better than that tubby shit.
Woo! So we throwing out zingers already. That's what we doing?
Just damn right.
Okay, you know what? Okay, so I feel your energy on that. Yes, definitely 10% off Revival Army. Definitely copy some of that right now. That's right. It works right now. Not seasons later, but right now. It works. So definitely check it out. We're going to drop another bomb on y'all in just a few minutes. But let's get into what everybody's talking about right now. It's a little bit after 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. It is AEW. AEW Dynamite just went off the air literally minutes ago. The show was pretty good. We got more of what's happening now with All In. I know a lot of y'all out there in the wrestling community was wondering what's going on with Tony Khan and All In. Well, he definitely let y'all know tonight. It started really at the opening of the show. The International Championship was up for grabs. Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta. Of course, he's part of that Blackpool Combat Club. Was a pretty good match, Cyber. I have to admit, a good match to start off the show. And we got a victory from Orange Cassidy. I know some people may not like that because he's had a pretty long reign, a kind of a Roman era type of reign for him, but he did get the victory.
This is more like a Shinsuke Nakamura holding the Intercontinental title. This is more like Hangman Adam Page hanging on to the AEW World Championship for the first time. I'm sorry, but this reign by Orange Cassidy is not something to remember. If anything, this has probably been the most degrading reign for that intercontinental championship. They need to put that title on someone better than Orange, because right now, yeah, he has a good gimmick. People get behind him, but he has not put on a match that makes me say, okay, I think we need to work with this guy. I haven't seen nothing yet. So that's just my opinion.
I mean, I've heard that from a lot of people. Some people we mutually know, some people we don't. Some people are loving Orange Cassidy being there, some people don't. Like, I mean, here, shout outs to Bananas Epic Gaming. Have a good stream tonight, y'all. Just wanted to show some love and subscribe. Definitely appreciate that from you. But just like I know another one here, Tyler the Great 27, saying what's happening, boys. Hope you're enjoying your night. Orange Cassidy, he's been the workhorse of not WWE, but AEW since he's been having that title. He is undefeated this year. Let that sink in. He is undefeated in 2023. There's only one other person that can say they're undefeated. Only one. And we know he rules over in Stamford, Connecticut. So that's just a lot to say right there. But it was a good match. I can't complain. It was a good match to start the show. Definitely give you some WCW Nitro vibes, starting with the quote-unquote cruiserweights or whatever. But the match ended with a simple roll-up, of course, from Orange Cassidy, and then that's when all hell broke loose. Moxley, Claudio, oh my, all jumped into the fray. Looks like Orange Cassidy was going to lose. Here comes the Best Friends. They got down and out. Here comes the Lucha Bros. And then to end it all, Cyber, we had the return of Yonkers, New York own, fresh off the plane from G1, Mr. Eddie freaking Kingston.
Damn.
Couldn't have set it up any better. So now, for All In, we're going to have a super match here. Kind of a stampede of sorts. So, Stadium Stampede in Wembley. Blackpool Combat Club, with some people they're going to have to figure out who they're going to come with. I have my possibilities. We'll talk about that later. Going up against the Lucha Bros, Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, and now Eddie freaking Kingston. What do you think about the Stampede coming back?
To be honest, I feel like the Stampede match, it really has to be a very selective group of people. Two teams has to be very selective. It can't be something like War Games or anything like that to where you can just throw random people together. The Stampede match, it needs to be people that actually make sense. So if AEW doesn't pull this off right with this team that's going to team up the Blackpool Combat Club, it's going to fall stale. And they're going to be like, well, why are these other three people in it? They're going to wind up asking themselves that question. And to be honest, that is not a good question to be asking. And if that winds up happening, if they wind up making a bad choice about who they team with them, all I got to say is, Tony Khan, you need to quit sniffing that shit and actually try to do your job, or get some better creative in there, because holy shit. You're muted there, bud.
A lot of people there just don't like how the booking's been going with the entire situation. Not alone Dynamite, but all in, and I guess you can even say all out, because they're literally a week apart. So we don't know what's going to happen here, but hopefully
it's all being fast forward right now, and there's no build. That's the big problem.
I mean, I know a lot of people are saying, hey, it's because of certain injuries that happened. There's no Bryan Danielson. There's no Jamie Hayter. Maybe visas issues. I've heard some things about Pac not being involved due to certain situations. Whatever the case may be, it's not an excuse for Tony Khan. You knew this was coming for a long time. This is not something you just thought of last week.
Exactly.
So you should have had a contingency of the contingency of the contingency plan just in case things didn't go their way. So
because currently, right now, after the whole debacle with Triple H saying that Cody came from a secondary company, Tony Khan has been constantly harping on that. Well, right now, he is showing that if he does not book this right, he is showing that they're not ready to be considered a top tier wrestling company if they cannot solve this problem, because this is their first time going and doing Wembley. They need to come out swinging. If they don't, it is going to fall stale and it's going to be sad. What's up, Double K? Thank you so much, man.
what's going on with you, Double K? See a lot of people joining in here. What's going on also to the Joker there saying good evening, gentlemen, good luck with the debut show. Thank you very much for that.
And all I got to say is if Tony Khan messes this up, I think someone's gonna have to hit him with this, man. I'm sorry.
Dummy. Yeah.
Damn. So that's that type of energy we're on tonight.
That's
right?
the type of energy we're gonna start with tonight, because I'm sorry, but he's gonna be a dummy if he does that's wrong.
That's where we're going. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that was a big match. I mean, I kind of figure if people haven't noticed, Stadium Stampede, AEW's video game supposed to come out with that mode in a few weeks. See the connection
You
there?
mean if they actually release it on time?
We'll talk about that part later, because that really has pissed me off too with that game. And a lot of people that actually purchased that game, AEW Fight Forever, seems like we're going to be waiting forever for an update, let alone fixing the game that needs to be fixed. So we shall see about that. But also on the show, little towards the end of the show, we had a big move by the Acclaimed and House of Black. Seems like we're going to get a match here going towards either All In or All Out. They're all together, y'all. We don't know. But House of Black put a whooping. I mean, straight go outside and get the switch type of beating on Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. Do you think this should be a trios match coming up at one of the pay-per-views, or do you think Billy Gunn's gone, so why are we even doing this?
I think what's going on is I think the House of Black is trying to push on the Acclaim to get Billy Gunn to come back and do another match. I think that's what's happening here, and I think that's what I'm hoping that this is what's going on, because then this is telling me Tony Khan's actually using his brain for once. Is that starting with what Malachi Black told Billy Gunn in his ear after that match for the Trios title with the Acclaimed? I hope that's festering with Billy Gunn and he's going to come back. I don't think All In. I think they're going to build through All In and they're going to go straight to All Out, which means it's going to give them 2 weeks to build on this, which, to be honest, between the video packages that the House of Black does and the shit talking the Acclaim does on their intros, they could build a very good match for All Out.
No, they definitely can. And, even though with All In seems to be getting a kind of a whole feel to it, I think this one should be left off. I'm in agreement with you here. I mean, this is not going to happen a lot, y'all, where a Yankee and an Astro actually walk into a bar and agree.
That has to happen at about 5 drinks in. At 10 drinks, that's when we're about ready to freaking kill each other, and then one of us ends up like this.
What is the 5 fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
I'm telling you.
Shout out to my guy, Sammy Guevara. Shout out to But yeah, speaking of Sammy Guevara, I see what you did there. You did a little segue there, Cyber. I see what you did there. Let's talk about Sammy Guevara, because he was actually involved in Dynamite tonight with a little run-in to help Chris Jericho. Let me explain. So Jericho is making his decision regarding joining the family. Of course, that being the family, not the Godfather family, but Don Callis' family. And for a split second, you see what I did there. But for a split second, it seemed like he was joining the family. But it wasn't until he wanted to unveil what was underneath that picture, and it was a picture of Don Callis holding Chris Jericho's head. Of course, Jericho then changed his mind and took a butt whooping for it. He tried to take on Takeshita, was holding his own for a little bit, and then out of nowhere, Jericho got attacked. No, not by Bullet Club Gold. No, it was Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay wants his match since 2021, and I guess he cashed in his check for it. Bloodied up Chris Jericho. Sammy came in for the save. And later on the night, we found out it is official now. Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho. As Jericho said, at his home turf for Ospreay at All In. Now, I'm a big fan of Will Ospreay. I really got to know him over a couple of years, and his match he had with Orange Cassidy a few years back was awesome. But do you think this needs to be on the card, or is it just a play because he's obviously from the UK?
To be honest, I think they're going to fast burn this one. And when I say fast burn, I mean literally they're going to be on the All In card. They're going to be on the All In card because it's in the UK. It makes sense to have this match happen. Only question is what is Chris Jericho going to do? Is he going to pop up on Dynamite on Rampage and say something? Is he going to be on Collision and say something? Something has got to happen between now and when the pay-per-view comes up to be able to make this match make sense, because to people who don't really follow wrestling that much and they're just watching this, they don't know the reason why that they're going after each other. They don't know anything. And that's what they have to do. They have to be able to pull the casual fan in. So either Chris Jericho and Will Ospreay have to start doing stuff on social media to catch people up, or they're going to have to Chris Jericho is going to have to pop up on either Rampage or Collision and start something up. So then people can understand why the match is going to happen at All In.
Definitely has to be, because I believe we have one more Dynamite before we get to All In, so a whole nother cycle of shows.
But I would still say they have to start it like this week. It has to be either Rampage or Collision that Chris Jericho pops up and he starts talking shit to Will Ospreay. Either that or they have to go with the social media route.
And I think they're going to use all of them. That's one thing I will say about AEW. They do use their social media very well, even connecting them with storylines more than the other company. But they probably going to use all three since they're really in a rush now to All In. Also, too, Collision is actually going to be taped the day before actually All In. So hopefully more people can make the trip, be ready to do something. If they're not on the card, yes, no, maybe so. So we should definitely see about that. But looking here at the comments, shout outs to, of course, Mr. Buzzin' with Marlo. I see him up in the building. What's up to you as well?
What's up, Marlo?
See here, we got one from Tyler the Great. He says Ospreay has Jericho because he's supposed to have a match for a Rev Pro event the day before, so he needed somewhat of a break for All In. Definitely could be the case there, but Ospreay versus Jericho, I would assume Jericho's going to put him over. I don't see any way that he wins.
Makes the most sense. That makes the most sense to put him over, because Chris Jericho, whether he wants to admit it or not, he's getting to the end of his career. He is not going to be able to go. He's not going to be able to go as much as everybody else is currently. So the right thing for Chris Jericho to do is to put over Will Ospreay. So then at that point, if they're going to continue using him past this feud with Jericho, it puts him in line for something else. It could be something as simple as, Intercontinental title shot or a AEW championship, or the X championship, whatever the hell CM dumbass is calling it. I mean, I swear, man. Sometimes I feel like telling this dude,
"Shut up, bitch."
I'm like, he needs to shut up. But anyway, moving on.
So, and then of course we had with the main event of the night was definitely a tag team match between the Bucks and the Gun Club. And I'm just going to say it here. I've said it a lot over social media for over the past year or so. I even said it then when we was rocking 4 letters, but we don't do that no more here because no general of mine. But the Gun Club has really, really, and I mean really, made that next step. They can be considered one of probably the top 4, if not top 5 tag teams in all of All Elite Wrestling. When literally just 18 months ago, they were in catering. Let's just be honest. They were in catering and literally just there because their daddy is a famous legend. So I give them credit for that. They've done a big thing. Even joining up with Bullet Club Gold has been a nice move for them. So them in the main event, once again, was pretty good. Was a good match. A lot of back and forth, but of course the Bucks did get the victory. And they decided that they wanted to get jumped. So here comes Bullet Club Gold, Juice Robinson and Jay White. But to make things a little easier, FTR came out for the save. And of course, that ties into their All Elite match for the World Tag Titles in a few weeks. So what do you think, though? Does the Gun Club need another run, or FTR still reigning supreme?
This is kind of an interesting situation because here we have FTR, who's probably been one of the current generation's, most dominant tag teams. And they started going on a rip since they left WWE and they popped up in AEW. They actually won the ROH titles. They won the AEW World Tag Team titles the first time. They've held the Raw, SmackDown, NXT. They've held the New Japan heavyweight tag team titles. I mean, they've held the AAA tag team titles. I mean, they're over here trying to look like the modern day Dudley Boys with how many titles they're holding. And I just feel like right now, FTR can stand to lose right now because they have built themselves to be one of those modern tag teams that are going to be considered one of the greats. I'm actually even putting them in the list along with Edge and Christian, Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Dudley Boys. They're in my top 5. They're in my top 5 for being FTR, and then 5 being APA. So I mean, they're in a pretty elite group of tag teams that I feel like the Guns are trying to get to that point. And I think they took a step in the right direction by joining Bullet Club Gold. And then on top of that, look at what they've been doing since they've been with them. I feel like their mic work has gotten better. I feel like they've learned from Jay White and Juice Robinson because both of them have gone on tears in New Japan, and they've already kind of proved themselves already. The Gun Club is still trying to do that because they only won the AEW World Tag Team titles. Now, I could see them kind of pulling something similar that FTR did, which is winning the AEW titles, and then I could see them jumping to New Japan. Since they have the Bullet Club name behind them, the only thing is Jay White wouldn't be able to go with them. It would be Juice Robinson that goes with them to go over there, and then they would fight. Because you know what? I will admit this. The one match in New Japan that's intriguing me with the Guns, G.O.D. G.O.D.
We know about G.O.D. We definitely do. That would be a match I would definitely want to see. But, Gun Club, I don't think they're part of the elite yet, pun intended. But they're knocking on the door now. They moved from catering. They can now get their food sent to them. They don't have to go get it themselves. They moved up in the ranks. But it's good to see a tag team like this because for a while it looked like we were getting the same 2 to 3 tag teams in AEW, where now some of them might actually start branching off into trios land. As Tyler just said here a few minutes ago, Tyler the Great 27, he wouldn't mind seeing Bullet Club Gold going after the trios titles soon against with the House of Black.
Okay, I saw this one comment because I was flipping back and forth, and I want to kind of address this. Okay. Tyler, when I was talking about it, I was talking about they could afford to lose it. I didn't say I thought they needed to that they were going to lose it. I said I think they could afford it. And if they were, I mean, it would only give the rub to the Guns. But like you said, they just won the titles not that long ago. I mean, when did they realistically win them? I'm trying to remember. It was
no more than 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was less than 6 months ago. So, I mean, realistically, I said it wouldn't hurt them to lose them, but I don't think they're going to lose them right now. So I just wanted to address that because I was just like, no, I'm not saying that they're gonna. Bucks and FTR are my 2 and 3.
A lot of people would have that way. Double K, the Bucks, FTR. If you want to count even the Usos, if we're going to bring in all of wrestling, they all will probably be in people's 1, 2, 3. But
I completely forgot about the Usos. I'll be honest. No, it would be they would be in the top 5. The Usos would
definitely would be, but it seems here that this person here from I take it that's the Speak On It podcast. Shout outs to Big Mike. You know Big Mike, right, Cyber? You know Big Mike. He is saying here FTR in the top 10, not the top 5. Now I just want to know.
Hold up.
Shut up, bitch.
I knew that was gonna happen. But
dummy, yeah.
Maybe they could be in the top 5. Maybe. I would say so myself. I think, come on, we got FTR, we got the Bucks, we got the Usos. Which other one are you going to put there before FTR? I mean, I definitely would say they're top 5, especially if we don't count this year. They might be 1 or 2, honestly. So
yeah,
because they just really been putting in that work. And yes, Tyler, the Gun Club did win the titles back in April. So wow, it's just been about 5 months, just about now, since they've won the gold. Looks like here Eric says that the Bucks, FTR, Usos, and the Briscoes. Now, see,
I totally forgot about the Briscoes too.
Briscoes, right? If we want to say all time, then definitely the Briscoes can be in there. But if we want to talk just this year, 2023, I'm sorry, unfortunately, I would not have to put the Briscoes.
Okay. You know what? Idea for an episode. We need to do the top 10 list for best tag teams. A top 10 list for the best tag teams because of all time, not just a year or a decade. We're talking all time best tag teams, top 10.
Okay. So we're not just talking about what's out there right now, y'all. We're talking about demolition. Okay. We're going back with like the head shrinkers, the head bangers, all those in between, all time. So that'll probably be on a future episode. But we got Rampage coming up on Friday. We have Collision on Saturday. But real quickly, let's talk about what happened this past Saturday on Collision in their main event, which was the World Trios Championships. Of course, CMFTR, what a name that was, and the House of Black. Now, we all know, because we all seen it by now, the House of Black defended their titles and got the victory. So I'm going to put this message out there, question out there to you, Cyber, and for everybody listening and tuning in on our premiere episode. Can the House of Black really hold this belt for over a year without ever losing?
Yes. Here's my reasoning behind that. Because look at who has held the
shout out to Big Mike. Shout out to Big Mike. Shout out to you, Aaron. Welcome to the show.
All right. And I've been waiting.
Big Mike, you ain't shit for that one. Now, anyway, getting back to what I was saying. The reason why is if you look back at who previously held the titles, I'm sorry, the Bucks and Kenny Omega. I'm sorry, to me, that was a cheap crowd pop. Just to when they put those titles on them. That was a cheap crowd pop if I have ever seen one, period. To me, The last team that legitimately held those trios titles and actually made sense was Death Triangle prior to the House of Black. Now, the only thing that the House of Black has over the Lucha Bros and the Death Triangle is the fact that their video cameos that they do in regards to them holding the titles, in regards to how they would defend the titles, in regards to the shit talking they do. They are playing probably some of the best mind games I have seen in a while, counting wrestling completely. Not just freaking AEW, but I'm talking WWE, I'm talking Impact, I'm talking New Japan, I'm talking everything. This is probably the most unique mind games I have seen outside the Bloodline storyline that, it just makes sense. It makes you want to watch. Now, is there any teams out there that currently could do that? I haven't seen anything yet, but a couple teams that do pop to mind. I'm going to actually say this: CMFDR. I could see them doing it, but they have to do it the right way. They have to actually cut better promos. They need to stop waiting last minute to try to go after titles all of a sudden. Because realistically, was there any build at all to this title match between the House of Black?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. I can't remember any. So that's what they would have to do first in order to be able to actually look like they could possibly take the titles off of them. Secondly, if Pac wasn't injured, I could easily see House of Black and Death Triangle going at it and it actually being a good match. They could actually do a hell of a gimmick match if they wanted to. That's the other team. Now, the third team, this is going to be a little bit of a surprise. Bullet Club Gold, the Guns, and Juice Robinson. A lot of people might say Jay White instead of Juice Robinson, but to be honest, they need to let Jay White build back up to what he was when he was in New Japan. They need him to get back to that upper echelon level of MJF, I'm coming after your ass, or CM Punk, I'm coming after you. And let him do that. It makes more sense for Juice Robinson to be the one to be with the Guns to go after the Trios titles. Again, the main thing that I want to make sure I get across is they have to work on their presentation. The Bullet Club Gold needs to work on their presentation, because if you look at, let's look at New Japan. Look at the presentation that GOD does with their stuff. It's not video packages. It's not any of that House of Black has going for them right now. It is the legitimate shit talking that they do that gets them to that upper level. That's how Tama Tonga got himself to the point of winning the Never Openweight Championship. That's how, people started noticing him as a single competitor. And that's how he was able to build himself up to that point. Jay White can do the same thing too, and it won't take him as long. But if you look at the Bullet Club Gold and you look at the Guns, they can't do that quickly. They need someone as a front man for them. Like back when they very first debuted and they had Billy Gunn. Well, then what happened when they hit a certain point? They turned on him. The Acclaim picked up Billy Gunn, and the Guns went their separate way.
That's right.
The Guns need another front person, and that person that can do that can help them do that, is Juice Robinson. So that's why I'm saying those are currently my top three. And before any of y'all get pissed off, the only reason why Kenny Omega and the Bucks are not in this conversation for me is because, like I said in the beginning, it was a cheap pop. for them to win those titles. It was a cheap pop. The first time they won them, when they had all that stuff happen in the back afterwards with CM Punk and his bitch ass, and then they got stripped of them.
Okay, we got Aaron here. I guess
What?
chiming in what you're saying here. He said when Adam Cole eventually dethrones MJF, possibly at Full Gear, he needs to drop it to Jay White at Double or Nothing. Now, I'm definitely not in agreement with that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, hit me one more time. Hit me one more time.
What the fuck?
Okay.
I'm so sick of these people. You know, oh!
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm telling you.
I don't see that at all. I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it. I don't see that happening at all. Double K says, I like Bullet Club Gold, but their presentation needs lots of work. Yes, they do.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
They definitely do. But I also, once again, this doesn't happen a lot, y'all. See, I got to put this like in a time capsule. Me and Astro are actually agreeing. Again, I do think Juice Robinson needs to be that front man for the Gun Club and go after the Trios titles. And I don't honestly see House of Black losing this until probably March, maybe April of next year. Whenever that may be.
Title reign. Give them that good title reign, and make them legitimate. So if they ever go after them again, they're like, they could legitimately lose these titles.
And that's how they've been made up to be, especially after the ass whooping they gave the Acclaim tonight. They definitely look like the bad man on campus that can't be touched. So we definitely got a lot to see here. Big Mike with it wasn't a cheap pop, laugh out loud. They never booked themselves to lose.
I'm so sick of these people. You know, oh!
Yeah,
Mike, you ain't shit.
We reading minds right there. But yeah, so definitely looking forward to the rest of AEW programming for this week and see where do we go from here regarding All In. And then maybe, just maybe next week, we might get some talk of All Out as well. So see what happens there. But you know something? I'm looking at that time, and I think it's time to drop another bomb.
Okay.
I think it's time to drop another bomb. You know something? I see you over there, Cyber. You're wearing a shirt. I'm wearing a shirt. Don't you think we should have our own shirts?
You know what? I think that is a great idea. And you know what? You want to tell them, or do you want me to tell them?
You know what? You can have this one. You go and tell them.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. It is official. We have our own merchandise now. First episode, and we have our own merchandise. Now, as you can see, we got the Notorious approved. We've got the living rent free in your head. I had to keep something that I personally came up with. I had to keep that. And then, of course, we have the official The Wrestling Revival t-shirt. Now, where can they get all this stuff? Where can they get it? You can go get it at bonfire.com/store/The Wrestling Revival. And guess what? I think that store is actually live right now.
Right now. So right now, you can get your piece of the Wrestling Revival merchandise, the official Wrestling Revival shirt, living rent-free in your head. I know a few people still got that. And hashtag Notorious approved. You can get that all right now. Bonfire.com/store/The Wrestling Revival. Told you guys we have some bombs to drop on y'all tonight. So you can copy it right now in 3 different designs. So get you some of that merch right now.
Yeah. Hey, we're firing them all. All right.
Gunshot shots.
And then I got somebody over here whispering in my ear, telling me a certain something.
Stop it! Don't shoot that little motherfucker no more.
Hey,
exactly.
Hey, we had to do it big for the first episode. We had to.
Definitely. So let's get to the WWE, and this pissed me off. It's story time for DJ right here now. And some of y'all may know it was the King's birthday over the weekend here. Turned the big 4-0. So my son even got me a walker for my birthday. But that's here nor there.
Damn. And what'd you get in the mail? Notorious?
Go fuck a goat. We ain't gonna
What'd you
speak
get in the
about
mail?
that. Okay, we're not gonna speak about that. No, there was no Minute Maid in my mailbox. Okay?
What'd you get in the mail?
There was no Minute Maid in the mail.
But what was it?
We're not gonna speak on that right now. We're just gonna leave that alone.
Man, Mr. AARP is already reaching out to DJ Notorious over here. He was like,
What the fuck?
I definitely did that. Yes, I did. AARP is already hitting me up. I didn't even get 40 for a week yet, but they did that nonetheless. But so as I'm watching the Hip Hop 50 concert in Yankee Stadium, home of who, I got a message sent on my phone, and it said that somebody who's already on AARP level was given the United States Championship. Yeah, that's right, y'all. Rey Mysterio is now the United States champion. I mean, what the fuck? What are they really legit doing here? Now, WWE has the talent there. Let's not get it twisted there. You got Escobar waiting in the wings. You got somebody else that we're going to talk about in a few minutes waiting in the wings. And you take it off a guy who some people may not like, but he does do work in the ring. I'm talking about Austin Theory. You take it off of him to give it to AARP, Rey Mysterio. What sense does that make? Like, what are they trying to do here? Now, I know what some people are going to say. It's setting up for Escobar and Rey Mysterio. That's nice. That's cute. But you literally could have did that with Austin Theory and not even putting Rey Mysterio into this category. Like, if Rey Mysterio was in NBA 2K23, his speed would be 2. He's old as hell. If somebody hits him, I think it might be a hate crime. That's how close it is to being that age. Like, this is not what was needed in WWE. And what does it, honestly, and I ask you, Cyber, and everybody else, what does that say to Austin Theory and the rest of the younger talent there that's waiting to be pushed, that you just slapped the gold on Rey Mysterio, the Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer?
All I got to say is whoever came up with this idea is a
dummy. Yeah.
Indeed.
It hurts. It hurts. I would have much rather had Rey Mysterio lose than have this shit happen. I would have much rather had Austin Theory lose to Dominic Mysterio than to freaking lose to freaking Rey Mysterio. What the hell is this shit? I mean, it's I just
I'm so sick of these people. Oh,
WWE creative, you better come up with something better. If not, I'll just tell you this.
But I'll tell you what, Logan Paul, I brought you a little gift. It's a map. If you follow this, you'll find the exact directions of where you can stick each and every one of those bottles of Prime. Yeah.
That too.
No.
That too. It's just one of those things, like, I just don't know where they're going with this. Hopefully we can find out in just a week or so, because they're even getting close to their own pay-per-view, which is Payback. Right around, Memorial Day weekend. Who thought to put it on the same weekend as All Out? I don't know. But nevertheless, maybe we get a rematch between Theory and Mysterio and he wins. I think that's the only thing that can make this right.
That's the only thing that makes sense. Is Austin Theory comes out more aggressive. He's 3 kinds of pissed off. I hope this is to push his character further up. I mean, because realistically, he was doing good. So for him just to randomly lose to Rey Mysterio makes no sense. But if it's to advance his character and then for him to win it back, I can understand that. But if not, all I got to say is,
What the fuck?
Literally, what the
Yeah.
fuck? And honestly, Double K said it best here. He was like, yo, keep it 100. We all know this is Ray's last stand, but it was a bad idea. Santos had it in the bag 3 weeks ago. Agreed.
That is
If
true.
Theory was going to lose that belt, if it didn't say Escobar or somebody else we could speak about, or Theory continuing his reign, doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And honestly, if you was going to give this to Ray, why didn't you give it to him last year when he was the cover athlete for WWE 2K? That would have made even more sense. I get it. You're trying to sell more copies of your game, even though it's already 45% off on most stores. But anyway, that's here nor there. That would have made more sense. But doing this now to Austin Theory, I believe someone said it earlier. I believe it was Aaron there. Literally said he should be punching the air right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because what did he do to deserve it? Can you imagine him coming into the arena that night and Paul Levesque tells him, hey, I'm going to need you to drop that title tonight. And he's waiting to hear Escobar's name. And he doesn't. He hears somebody else's name. So what does that tell you with WWE?
They still got some bullshit writers writing for them.
Yeah, that is true. They don't seem what they know what they want to do, honestly. It just doesn't seem cohesive in any stretch of the word.
Nope. And then it just feels like a shit show right now for the US title. It really does. Now the other thing that we're going to touch a base on, we're just going to lightly talk about it, is Chelsea Green. She finally ended her search for a replacement tag team partner for the women's tag team championships. These damn belts are cursed. They should have shelved them and leave them there for a while. And I just think that this is worse than the 24/7 title at this point.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Peter Rosenberg with that one. Damn.
Ugh. But she finally found somebody, and the returning Dewdrop or Piper Niven or whatever the hell they're calling her this week. So many damn name changes. Yeah, I did say it like that. I did it on purpose, you jackass. I swear, he doesn't comprehend people being facetious over here, and it's aggravating me. I feel like my IQ is dropping a couple points because he's not getting this. He's not grasping it. He's just not getting it. So please, Big Mike, for the sake of everybody,
Shut up, bitch!
Damn. Savage.
Damn.
Savage.
Damn. He had no idea I was making a pun out of the damn women's tag team titles, and he's over here. Oh, did you hear him? He said Chelsea. I'm like, you already could tell where I was going with it, and again, had to stop the little yellow bus just so I could let little Mike on it, so I could drive him around. I had to make sure his helmet was on, because if not, he was going to try to lick the windows again. I mean,
oh wow,
damn,
poor little Tink Tink. Maybe he just wanted you to speak on it, like his podcast. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Just saying. Maybe that was the case. But also here, you got Tyler chiming in as well. And Cyber, it's Piper, and it's staying Piper. Okay. You got
Tyler, do not make me put you on that same bus with him with your Starbucks caramel frappuccino looking ass. Oh my God.
I mean, geez. I mean, hey, they even calling you Samantha Irvin. I mean, and actually speak on it, it's Irvin, not the guy who's crazy in the NBA. Just saying.
Thank you.
Just saying.
Thank you.
Just saying.
You see?
Hold off on the G. But yeah, so yeah, she did get a partner, and now it's Piper Niven. Honestly, I think we might disagree with this, but I like that tag team. I think Chelsea being, of course, the talker of it, and Piper just being the brute force, they're going to run a
It
roughshod
worked.
over this
I mean,
division for a
what
while,
division?
hopefully.
What division?
That
What
that
other
was the play
legitimate
on
tag
that, because
team is there for the women?
there's nobody left. That was the play on it. They can dominate nothing, pretty much. Or they'll just make up tag teams.
They're gonna dominate catering.
You ain't shit for that, because I know why you did that. You ain't shit for that. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. We're gonna leave that alone. Not even gonna touch that. Nope, not at all. But hey,
What the fuck?
yes, what the fuck?
Mhm.
It gets Piper back on TV. That's always a good thing, because she is a good wrestler in the ring. I mean, it could be worse. We could have Nia Jax back in the WWE. Let that sink in for y'all. So whoever they come up with, wherever they want to play, match the tag team partners each week on Raw or SmackDown, they'll just do.
Or NXT, because they combine those women's titles, which I'm sorry, the NXT women's tag team titles had more prestige in my eyes than the damn actual WWE women's tag team.
No, it definitely did, but everybody seems to get injured. So let's just hope, they put Piper and Chelsea in some, some bubble wrap so they don't get injured. Because it seems like everybody who touches that goal, something happens to them. Also, Tyler here saying the only legit team they had that was good, they had them lose to Ronda fucking Rousey. I mean,
all I gotta say is they need to wait another 6 months. People are gonna think I'm crazy for saying this. They need to resign Peyton Royce and freaking and Billy Kay.
I am with you on that 100%, because they would literally bring some legitimacy to that division. Easily.
Yes. They both either are popping out babies or they're about to, and I can tell you this. That was the last time I legitimately watched when they had the belts. So it is what it is.
All right, we see here, Aaron, a whole bunch of randomly throw together tag teams will eventually be broken up and laughed at and put back upon as yet another joke. Literally, that is the running joke. You could just literally say, what's the joke? The women's tag team division in WWE.
And I'm telling you, the women's tag team titles are the new 24/7 titles. It's the new 24/7 title, hands down. I'm just waiting for a bunch of women to start running after them in a quick little 30-second little run around the ring and back into the back. It's going to be it's going to be the battle of the women in catering.
So you think Dana Brooke is going to have a team pretty soon?
Dana Brooke got demoted in catering. She got sent. Her ass got sent back to NXT, and she's being repackaged right now.
How many times can Carrie repackage? And I mean, since you did say repackage, we just got to talk about it real quickly. It seems like there's going to be no more Lacey Evans in the WWE. She's been hinting towards that on social media earlier today. If you haven't caught it, you can definitely see it now. No more Lacey Evans, no more Sergeant Slaughter wannabe. It looks like she's going to get her walking papers soon. I know some people thought she was going to show up on Dynamite tonight, but let's be honest, y'all. If she does get released, it's probably a 90-day no-compete clause. So let's think about that before we tweet, guys.
But also, too, they might also be doing the same thing that they did with Jay also. With Jey Uso. I mean, he supposedly is leaving the company, and he got moved to the alumni section, and I mean, they might be doing the same to her. They might actually be letting her repackage to what she wants to repackage to, which, if we look at her very original gimmick, the pinup girl, she has officially become one of those nasties that she talked about.
Yeah, we all know Lacey Evans definitely is something very nice to look at. Definitely. She's a lot of photos have been circulating of her, not safe for work, but definitely, it's there. She does have an attraction to her, but it just seems like WWE yet again just didn't know what to do with someone who was actually pretty good in the ring into a women's division that needs all the help that they can get. Like WWE, we need a parent teacher conference or something going on here because that division is just god awful. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if NWA picked her up. Impact, even AEW, anybody will be on that phone after that 90th day trying to bring her in because she is a talent.
I would think probably the most logical place for her to land would be Impact. It would be Impact. I know I said I did an interview not too long ago with Marlo, and I started talking about we started talking about, you know, the different kinds of wrestling I started watching after, you know, the whole thing we're going to get into here in a little bit. And I told him, I said, I actually started watching Impact. And to be honest, I've been kind of impressed. You know, I haven't been this impressed with Impact since, you know, back in the early days, back when Jeff Hardy first stepped into the Impact Zone, back when Christian Cage stepped into the Impact Zone. You know, that was good wrestling.
Yes, it
And
was.
it seems like now they're starting to find their way back to that with this, with, you know, this resurgence that they're having with the smaller venues, but they're still they're packing them out and they're actually getting decent views. And, you know, they're actually doing well. So I could see, you know, someone like Lacey Evans going there after her 90 days and actually being able to develop her own character and having it, you know, advance. Because look, you have Naomi over there as the current Impact Women's Champion, which I know, if I'm understand correctly, Mickie James is still there, but I think she's more in a backstage role.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that Mickie James is really good at is she is really good at the aspect of creating characters in regards to helping others develop their character into something that people are going to want to watch. So I honestly think if Lacey Evans goes there, she will be able to help her advance a character to the point to where she is sought out again. You know, just look at some of the talent that's gone through Impact that has reemerged and they're even better than they were. I mean, Cody Rhodes, he spent some time in Impact, but then he jumped to New Japan. He worked with other groups. He continued growing his character, and look at him now. Even though he lost at WrestleMania to Roman Reigns, he is still probably one of the top superstars in WWE right now. You know, because people still are interested in him, which I'm surprised. I figured after WrestleMania he'd fall off, but people are still interested. People want to see him finally win that big one, and I think that's what's going to keep him legitimate for a while. So, I mean, people have come through. Drew McIntyre, same thing. He left, he went to Impact, he went to a couple other promotions, and he rebuilt his character. He came back freaking massive compared to when he left. And this was supposed to be Vince McMahon's golden boy. And he got his walking papers.
That's right.
And I mean, the proof is there. If the person that leaves WWE the first time, if they are 100% bought into this is going to be my career and this is what I'm going to set myself up for the rest of my life, they are going to go back to these smaller promotions. They're going to build themselves. They're going to make themselves an asset again, and then they will probably get another run. But at this point, just like I saw in the comments earlier, I don't remember who said it, but they said something about potentially her starting up an OnlyFans. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if she does that for a little while, just because look at some of the former WWE superstars that have done that, and they have made a killing. The one person popping into my mind, Mandy Rose. She made her salary in what, a week? Her
Literally
yearly
a week.
salary in a week? She made over $1 million in a couple weeks. Like, come on. Let's be serious here. So it would. The point is, though, is she is legitimately married, and how is her husband going to feel like if she decides she wanted to do that? And also, how in the hell did a man with that big of a butt of face freaking freaking nab someone like her.
Hey, they say opposites attract, so we'll leave it at
Yeah,
that.
we'll leave it at that.
Hey, we're just gonna leave it at that. So let's see what else we got here in store for tonight's episode. Let's just take a look at some things real quick at the comments. Eric here is saying places like Impact are the ironing shopping promotions that, I mean, wow. Yeah, I mean, I know also, I believe that was Double K that said that earlier. You know, a lot of people take their shots at Impact. They do. They don't see it as, you know, a true number three. They see it as the water boy of professional wrestling. And I have to admit, I've taken my shots at them at the past couple of months, but it has gotten better. Where I can actually sit and actually watch a whole show of theirs, I definitely would enjoy it. And right now in the wrestling landscape, when one company is giving 45 minutes of Roman Reigns, the other one gives you 2 hours of wrestling, it's good to have something else of an alternative to the alternative, being Impact. I mean, over the past couple of days, I know we had this conversation, Cyber, a few days ago. I told you that Impact has been putting out a lot of compilations for a lot of their wrestlers, one being Josh Alexander, showing his rise from starting to then becoming champion. So that's been a good thing. And there's a time where if you're new to Impact, maybe you need to start watching that so you can understand what's going on in the ring. And also PCQ, I think I'm saying it right, also returning back. So that was a good thing as well. So, but I don't know, Cyber. I think it's time.
Oh shit. All right.
I
So just a heads up for right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have children or if you have sensitive ears, this ain't the shit you're going to want to listen to for the last 15 minutes. Because this shit's going to be very forward, very upfront, and it is going to hurt people's feelings. So if you're very sensitive, I suggest first off that you just
shut up, bitch.
and just get ready for this shit. So here we go. You know what? I am going to let you go first, since I already did a little bit on an interview with Buzzing with Marlo. I'm going to let you get a little bit in right now. So floor is all yours, sir.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, most of y'all know me, you know, from spaces and things like that. But I usually say this to a couple of people, and those people are going to recognize it when I say it now. I'm gonna need a few people to come to the front of the congregation. I need to have a word with you. Okay. Let's start with the stands. Okay. There's a lot of wrestling stands out there. I'm not really feeling y'all right now. Really not. Because y'all are taking this to a whole new level. Everybody has their favorites. Like, for instance, I love the Yankees. Cyber loves the Astros. Trying to help him with that, but it's still, work in progress. But
you ain't shit, bitch.
Thank you. But I say all that to say is that, for the past few months, I've been getting slammed, say I'm not a true DJ. Why do I hate on CM Punk so much? From these CM Punk stands that still live in their mama's basement over there in the UK. I see some other ones that, post pictures of a wrestler with his family, and it gets a little weird. It's a little weird. I know we all love our wrestlers. Some people might love the Lucha Brothers. Some people might like the Young Bucks. Maybe not for their wrestling, but maybe for their sneakers. Whatever the case may be, there's a certain line.
Their sneaker game is on point, though.
Yes, it is. Charleston and those rocking them.
And the Usos and Roman Reigns also have good sneaker game too.
Roman needs some help, though. He needs a parent teacher conference.
Lately, he's been needing some help.
Yes, he does. I mean, come on, y'all. There's a StockX, there's a Flight Club, there's all that stuff. But back to the stands. When you reach the point when you're posting pictures of the wrestlers with their families, their children, that's when you need to stop. Because where I'm from and how I was raised, you don't talk about women and children. That's the same when it goes to being a stand. I love the House of Black. I'm not going to be talking about Tommy Ann's wife. I'm not going to talk about Big Brody taking his kids to school on a typical Thursday. I'm not going to do that. But there are some people, one named Shar, yeah, I said it, that wants to be.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I said it. I'll say it again. Shar, that wants to be this whole big John Moxley thing. And it's getting a little bad. It's just getting a little bit just too much. So I need everybody to just back up a little bit and think before you post. I really need you to think before you post, because let this be reversed. Would you want some stands posting your children on Twitter, or I'm sorry, X, Instagram, Pinterest? You wouldn't want that. So don't do it to them. Remember, this is their job. There's a character that they are playing. Don't get into their personal life. That's just when it gets really, really left. So that's the first part, Cyber. Should I get into number 2?
Keep going. You're firing on cylinders right now.
Okay, give me some gunshots. I need some gunshots right now.
All right. And I've been waiting.
Yes, I've been waiting a long time for this. It's been a long time coming. You know, maybe y'all been paying attention. You know, Cyber had his interview with Marlo. Shout out to Buzzing with Marlo. But now it's my turn. Y'all haven't heard from me in a while with speaking on this. Now, myself and Cyber used to be affiliated with a certain podcast, OTTR. Well, that's obviously no more, because you see we've moved on up to the east side. But I got to speak on something right now. This message goes straight to the general over there. Okay. So hear me when I tell you this. You cannot call yourself Tony Soprano when you act like Big Pussy. I'm going to say it once again louder for the people in the back. You cannot call yourself Tony Soprano when you act like Big Pussy. You just can't do it. Can't call yourself a general if you don't know how to lead. Can't call yourself a general if you don't know how to delegate. So until you can do that, you are Big Pussy to me. I said it.
Here, and I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon's dead, but
maybe that company, maybe that side would be better if that was to supposedly happen. But to me, as of tonight, that team is dead over there. A lot of people jumping ship, brother. I don't know what happened to you. You let a lot of people go, and you put 2 of the best people together now to take you down. I don't understand it. Maybe you are Big Pussy from The Sopranos. Maybe you're going to die like them too. I'm just saying. So, those 2 things, front of the congregation, stands, back off a little bit, stop being shards out there. And also, to that general, not of mine, stop being a big pussy. Be Tony Soprano. I am DJ Notorious, and I approve this message.
I feel like I can't stand. Is that okay, Tony? Did I sit?
Damn.
It just needed to be said. I was just waiting for my time. I was sitting back for a few months.
Ooh. Ooh.
It needed to be said.
Man. Jesus.
It needed to be said. Sorry.
You know what?
Too much?
No, it wasn't too much. I'm going to be absolutely honest. And, you know, when I finally decided to leave, I just had it. I was fed up. I had a chance to jump in the season finale. I did, because I stepped out of work and I was like, you know what? Let me see how it's going. You were doing your thing. You were rocking it. You were doing exactly what you were supposed to. Doing exactly what you were supposed to. You did it exactly the way that it was supposed to be done. I said this on Buzzing with Marlo, and I'm going to say it here again. The biggest problem with me when it comes to what happened at the end with them is the fact that it became so micromanaged because I think he got intimidated by the fact that we were able to throw the show together in one 1 hour phone call with slides, with everything. Everything that was done for that season finale, when it comes to the slides, the promotion, everything else, that was done by me. I was the one that did that. And let me tell you something. All this stuff that you see right here, DJ threw an idea out. I brought it to life and I showed it to him. And he was like, let's run with it. Let's do it. The video packages, everything else, our intro, our outro that you'll see shortly. All of that was done by me. And DJ just gave me a couple pointers saying, hey, let's change this. Let's put this here. Let's put this there. Turn around less than 5 minutes later, put it back up. I put it in here so he could see it. And that was it. Now, our conversations were a little bit longer this week because we were doing final preparation and everything else to get it ready.
Right.
But I can tell you this, from this point on, every week, a 1 hour conversation, I will have slides done within that hour conversation, and we will have it up and ready to go for the next episode. You see what happens when two like-minded people decide to turn around and make it a business and not try to play Vincent Kennedy McMahon world, acting like we're from Connecticut. You know why he can do that? You know why he was able to do that for so long? Because he already did the grunt work and he turned around and he was able to do it because it was his own money he was spending and didn't matter how much it was.
Oh, wait a minute. We talking about money? Tag me in, please. Tag me in.
Okay,
Right
hold on. Tag.
There we go. We're going to talk about money. How is it that none of your team has seen any residuals from the stuff that you guys them keep doing? How about that W Energy? They seen anything of that?
Oh, you mean Tubby?
Yeah, Tubby. Have they seen anything from that?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You got them posting it all the time, but they ain't seeing no fruits of that labor. From what I heard, you don't pay a lot of people what they supposed to be paid. That's what I heard. And you know me, I stay with receipts. It's not the way to do business, man. That's why you got a lot of people jumping ship. I mean, it's really sad. It's really sad how I'm being honest with y'all guys, and this is honest. I can tell you right now, this is going to be the one and only episode we speak on this. This is it. But you do not treat people the way that you the one be treated. When you have to beg someone, a boss, to tell you a report of after the show is done, that's not being a boss. That's just not how it works. When your two top people of that podcast decide they've had enough and curse you out on the phone, and all you can say is, I don't know. That's not the way to do business. This right here is a business. You will see it as it grows. We're not playing those games over here. That's why a lot of people don't look at you the same way no more, man.
And let me throw something in here too. I'm tagging in here.
Second.
Okay, so let me tell you something here too. This is the other thing that bothers me. You think people don't talk. You think people don't turn around and come to us and tell us what's going on. DJ has had multiple people reach out to him. I have had multiple people reach out to me. And here's the thing that bugs me the most is when you get nervous, you get scared, you turn around, and what's the first thing you do? Meeting.
Emergency meeting.
I need everyone in here right now. Emergency meeting. I need everyone in here right now. And then what do? Right after we leave, what is the first thing you tell them in a meeting? You start cutting people loose. You turn around and you degrade the people that are there. You tell them that they can't equal up to what I am and what DJ is. Each one of those people had a unique thing that they turned around and brought to the podcast. Each one of them. And what did you do? You turn around and degraded them. You could have easily just said, I need help. This is what I need help with. And then you either do one or two things. Either have someone volunteer or ask someone to help you. Those are the two things you need to do. But what do you do instead? You turn around and you degrade people. You turn around and you tell them that they don't add up to shit compared to the people you just lost. That you might as well just turn around and cut everybody. And yes, I am putting you on blast for that because you know what? You know the one thing that gets under my skin. You know damn well what the one thing is when you disrespect people. And me and you have gone head to head about it before. And then I found out you're doing it again. I was going to be respectful and I was going to be neutral and I was going to break off clean. But after I hear that you're disrespecting people and doing that, there's nothing clean that's going to be happening here. I will call you out for your shit. I will disrespect you exactly like you've been disrespecting others. And all this shit about what you've been saying, oh, well, this podcast ain't here no more. This podcast ain't here no more. And this, that, and the other. You know what? You better look damn hard in the mirror and you better realize something really quick. You might have had a hand in it, but you weren't the one that dealt the death blow to some of these podcasts. And before you turn around and you start talking shit, you better realize something. I can do the exact same thing and I can carry receipts and I can do it a lot harder. So you better think twice and you better treat your people that you have left with respect if you have anybody left after tonight.
Yeah, that's how we feel about that. Yeah, seeing Double K here, definitely 100. Yes. There was a lot of stuff that was going on, a lot of stuff during the summer that you guys are not privy to, but the gloves are
I
off.
feel like this needs to be played real quick.
Stop it! Stop it! Don't shoot that little motherfucker no more!
Yeah, definitely. And then this too.
Well, I know it's all bullshit. Whatever he says now, you know it wasn't his true actions then. You know, it's time enough to think about it. Or the reaction of the public that's kind of changed his perspective of it. Yeah, you can show me anything you want. There's no way you can convince me he wasn't an asshole.
Simple as that. So, y'all, that is going to be the first episode here of the Wrestling Revival podcast. Tune into us each and every Wednesday night immediately after Dynamite. So, of course, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And, of course, the West Coast, we got love for you, too. So, check your times. Definitely follow us on all social media. I'm talking everything. That Instagram and that X, formerly known as Twitter. Definitely check us out at the Wrestling Revival Podcast on Instagram. And then on Twitter, it's TWRP_official. And then, of course, if that, you want to follow myself, DJ Notorious, and Cyber Yeti, do that on social medias as well. All of us, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all DJ Notorious 2K7 and Cyber Yeti. You could definitely check us out. And don't forget, you want some energy drinks that's not labeled Dubby, that's actually going to work? Definitely check out Ulti Energy, ultisubs.com right now. Get yourself 10% off your order by using the code Revival Army. It's just as simple as that. And then, of course, if you want that merch, that's right, we got merch already after one episode. Bonfire.com/store/the Wrestling Revival. There's the official Wrestling Revival shirt. There is Living Rent Free in Your Head. And, of course, hashtag Notorious Approved. All different sizes up to 5XL. So, of course, us big
Taking
dudes,
care of the big boys. Taking care of the big boys.
we are all covered. So no matter what you want, even in hoodies as well, we got you covered. So check us out. Make sure you're following. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming up this season. A lot of special guests are lined up. Trust me, y'all do not want to miss this. So shout out to everybody in the chat that y'all really gave us some love here on our first episode. Trust me, things will get a whole lot better as episodes run on. Make sure you're following us. And, of course, it's a Wednesday night, so whatever you're doing for the rest of the night, make sure you do it safe. Cyber, final words.
All right, man. Well, first and foremost, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in for the first episode. I do appreciate it. I know y'all were probably waiting for that last little 10, 15 minutes there through the episode, so we appreciate you hanging out with us. Again, like my co-host mentioned, you can find me on my socials at Instagram, X, and TikTok at Cyber Yeti on all of them. So make sure you go and follow, because trust me, we are going to be putting updates. We are going to be listing new sponsors if we get them in. We are going to be listing, heck, we might even do a merch giveaway at some point this season. We don't know yet, but we will definitely, start looking into that. Also, as you know, myself and DJ Notorious, we are both avid gamers. So you never know. We might do something a little later on down the road for that as well. So make sure you hit that follow button.
Hey, shh. Don't.
Hey, I'm not letting everything out yet. I'm not
Keep
letting
stuff in the
everything
vault,
out.
man. Keep stuff in the
Hey,
vault.
you gotta tease them a little bit. You gotta tease them a little bit.
Give them breadcrumbs, not the whole loaf, okay?
Hey, I'm giving the big breadcrumbs. I'm giving that stuff that make them want to come back. Like we said, we have the 5XL shirts. You can't give them little breadcrumbs. You got to give them the nice big crumbs like that.
Oh man, definitely. We got a lot of things in store. You guys are not going to believe the special guest lineup that we have already set up.
Just waiting on a couple more responses.
It's going to be insane. So make sure you are following us everywhere. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I know some of y'all, so I'm gonna be checking y'all, but make sure you're doing all of it, because this is a breath of fresh air. This is what wrestling podcast should be. We're getting back to it. We're going to restore the feeling for all of y'all regarding wrestling podcast. So enjoy your Wednesday night. Whatever you do, do it safely, and we will see y'all here next week with another episode of the Wrestling Podcast.
Take it easy, everyone.
All right.